Hi everyone. In this video, we're going to go over how to find the equation of a parabola in factored and vertex form. First, let's go over what the factored and vertex form mean. So, the factored form can be written in the form y is equal to a times x minus r times x minus s. In my equation here, my r and my s values, those represent my x-intercepts. And remember, another word for x-intercepts is zeros. My a value at the front, that represents my vertical stretch or vertical compression. Now the three numbers I need to find to write an equation in factored form are my a value, my r value, and my s value. Right? If I have those three numbers, right, I can plug them into this equation, and that will give me the equation of a parabola in factored form. Let's review the vertex form as well. So, the vertex form of a parabola is given in this form. Y is equal to a times x minus h squared plus k. Here, hk, that represents my vertex point. And all I need to find the equation of a parabola in vertex form are my a value, my h value, and my k value. Right? Once I have those three values, that's all I need to find the equation of a parabola in vertex form. And we'll take a look at an example of this. So, in this graph, for this parabola, we wanted to find the equation in both factored and vertex form. Let's start with the factored form. So I know the factored form can be written as y is equal to a times x minus r times x minus s, where r and s are my x-intercepts, or zeros. Now, looking at this parabola here, I can see my x-intercepts are here at x is equal to 1. So that's one of my x-intercepts. My other x-intercept is at 5. And now remember, I can label my x-intercepts with an r and an s. And I can plug these values into my equation here. So let's do that. So I'm just going to plug these values into my equation for r and s. Now, am I done? Right, I've plugged in my x-intercepts. Am I done? No, because I'd still need to find my a value here. Now, to find the a value of my parabola, what I could do is I could plug in a point. I can plug in another point on this parabola to find the a value. Right? It's similar to finding the equation of a line if you're given the slope and a point on the line. Right? So remember, like when you want to find the equation of a line, if you're given both the slope and a point on the line, then you need to solve for b. It's the same thing here, right? I'm going to plug in a point to solve for a. So let's do it. Let's find a point on this parabola. So one point on this parabola is right here at 3, 8. On my point here, my x value is 3 and my y value is 8. Now, I can plug this point into my equation here. And then I'll use that to find my a value. So in place of my x's, right, in place of the x here, in place of my x, I can plug in 3. And in place of my y value here, I can plug in 8. And now I just need to solve this for a. Well, let's see. We have 8 is equal to a times 3 minus 1. Well, 3 minus 1 is 2. Times 3 minus 5. 3 minus 5 is negative 2. Okay, we can simplify this some more. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. And I'm multiplying that by a, which gives me 8. And now to get a, what I can do is divide by negative 4. Eight divided by negative 4 is negative 2. So we can see a is equal to negative 2. And now I have enough information to write the equation of this parabola in factored form. So if I plug everything in, we know my r value here is 1, so I can plug in 1 in for r. Okay, s here I know is 5. And a I know is negative 2. So in place of a here, I can plug in negative 2. And there we go. This is the equation of my parabola in factored form. So what did I do here? I plugged in my x-intercepts. Then I found another point on this parabola and used that point to find my a value. Now, what if I asked you to find the equation of this parabola in vertex form? Well, first, we need to identify what's the vertex. Well, the vertex here, remember the vertex is your highest or lowest point in the parabola. And I can see my highest point of this parabola is right here at 3, 8. Now, the x-coordinate of my vertex, that's my h value. And my y-coordinate of this vertex is my k value. And now, if we write down the equation of a parabola in vertex form, again, where h and k, that represents my vertex, I can just plug these values in, and that'll give me my equation. So let's do that. Okay, and what's my a value here? Well, we already figured out what a was in the previous example. Right? Because we're still looking at the exact same parabola. Right? We're still looking at the same parabola. Right? So we know our a value here, that we just found out from before is negative 2. So there's my equation in vertex form.